You know, I was bullied a lot. My dad was working in a mental institution, and since we didn't have enough money to buy our own house, we were allowed to rent a room in the living quarters of the hospital. Everyone would always call me that crazy girl or the mental bitch. I can't even recall when and how it started, but suddenly I was all alone. Nobody would be my friend because they would be too scared. Cowards.
I didn't know you had it that rough.
It's okay. I decided I didn't care. I found new friends outside of school, tried many different things.
What kind of things? Drugs?
Yeah, that as well. Then I started taking things into my own hands, even got into a fight with the kids one day. I was suspended from the school, although all I did was just break his snotty little nose. Fractured my arm during the process, but that seemed like a fair trade to me. Unfortunately, the principal wasn't on the same page. Suddenly everyone was afraid of me, but actually, that was kind of change. Kind of nice of a change. I stopped finding various shit in my locker and nobody would say anything to my face anymore. It kind of made me feel good, I think.
Weren't you lonely regardless? There must have been a lot of passive aggressiveness involved.
As if that would matter. It was better like this than finding banana peels and toothpaste in my shoes.
If you put it that way.
Yeah, well.
I wouldn't have been able to take something like that. You're a strong person. I'm envious.
I'm not so sure about that. I wasn't really handling it that well.
But still, it's much more better than I could ever say I've done.
Is there anything you regret?
Too many things. I remember victories when I didn't even have to try, but that made losing so vexing. Not actually having control of my own life, I became desperate.
It's the same, except I took my losses one line at a time.
One line at a time, eh? You know, when I met him, he was pale from the past he had seen. A weird sense of freedom, almost too old for his age. It fascinated me.
Who was he?
I'm not sure I really know, but back then he meant the world to me. He introduced me to the books and cigarettes he liked. We sometimes would head down to the riverside to watch ferries in the twilight. For a few months, everything in my life was perfect. I felt so relaxed. Everything about me made sense, but then it just kind of slipped away.
What happened?
I'm not sure. He disappeared one day and my parents did not let me get out of their sight, even more than before. It felt like my whole world had been destroyed just like that. Not even a warning. Nothing at all.
At least you saw a different perspective, the unique and hidden self beside of yourself. Nobody can take that away from you.
That may be true, but it doesn't mean it hurts any less.
But therein lies the beauty, doesn't it? How fragile everything is.
You're capable of cruelty, always, indiscriminately.